All right, I have a Mako M2 SFIC. I'll go into details after picking it because it can be a pain to get operating on this. But in any case, here's the operating key that goes and operates the lock. And then we have the control key, which allows you to remove the lock from its housing, which I'll show you here. It moves this control lug on the side, which holds the lock inside of whatever you have it installed in, like a padlock or a door or whatever it might be. So I'll go ahead and I want to try to get operating first because it's hard to get and the control is relatively easy. For some reason, all the Makos I've picked, the control is extremely easy to get to, which is a shame because that if you can remove the lock from whatever it's in, you can just actuate it by hand with like a screwdriver or whatever. All right, so I'm gonna start. I don't have a lot to offer, but about talking about this, but I'm gonna start. I know you have to kind of know what shear line to pick to. Actually, I'll go into the details after I pick it, so I can talk about it in more detail because I have to do some thinking when I'm picking. All right, so click out a 6, 5. There's a little bit. 4. Seems to be binding some. Click out a 4. Another click out of 4. I want to get 2 clicks out of a bunch of these. 3. 2. Because the control shear line goes first for most of these pins and then operating second. And 1 out of 64 combinations of whether they're first or second out of the 6 pins. So on this particular one, a lot of them are second. On this particular lock, that is. Okay, 6, 5, 4, 3 is not binding. 1, 2 is not binding. Hold on, let's see. 6, 5, 4. Let's see. All right, 1, 2, 3. I think 3's our binder here. Oops. Well, 3 doesn't seem to want to move. 4, 5. Let's say 3's our binder. It could be that it's somehow caught on the control shear line though. It won't move at all. I'm dropping a bunch of stuff trying to get that guy up, but okay, there we go. Probably dropped some stuff trying to get him up. All right, 6, 5, 4, 3's down again. What's going on with them? 2, and dropped into a false set, which is generally not a good thing because you could be false. All right, I got counter rotation on 1. Let's try him. And we dropped into control. So there's control picked. Not really what I wanted, but like I said, control is very easy on the Mako. And you can see I can move that control lug, lock it back up. Control is very easy to get. Operating is difficult. So let's give operating a try again. So I want to get some of these to the second shear line so that I don't risk dropping into control. So let's see if I can get some of these to the second shear line. Force them past that first shear line. All right, so 6. Click and then jiggles, so I don't think I can get that to the second shear line. 5 is mostly just loose. 4, click. Another click out of 4, maybe that will work. 3. Nothing. 2. Click out of that. And I think a click out of 1. Go back. I'm stuck on something going back, so let's lift that guy up. I think this is 5. Let's see. 6. 5. So I think that's the second click out of 5. 4. 3. I think I got 2 clicks out of 3. Let's go to the back again. 6. Okay, I think that's the second click out of 6. Double checking 5. 5 is still up there. 4 seems okay. That's 3, 2, and 1 seems to jiggle. I think 2 might be binding at this point. No, jiggling. 3. 3's jiggling. 4. 4's not jiggling. Does not appear to be jiggling on 4. 5, 6, 5, 4. Might have overset 4 there. 6, 5, 6, 5. 5 might be slightly overset. 4 might be slightly overset. 1's still jiggling. 6, 5, 4, 3, 2, and 1. 1's definitely jiggling. 2's definitely jiggling. 3's jiggling, but it could be jiggling off either shear line is the thing. 4 has a little bit of jiggle. 6 is jiggling. Only 5 it might not be jiggling. And there we go, operating. All right, so there's operating. And we'll take a look inside of this guy. Usually they say don't gut SFICs unless you have like a lab annex or something, but that destroys springs and spring caps. So what I was going to say on this is that there's 2 shear lines, and you know, if you're trying to pick operating, and operating is the second shear line your pins reach for some of the stacks, but the first for other stacks, you have to know if it's first or second for first pin, first or second for the second pin, first or second for third pin, and you got to get all those stacks to the right shear line. So there's 32 different possible combinations, right, on a 6-pin. Is that right? 64 possible combinations on a 6-pin lock. No, 32 on a 6-pin, 64 on a 7-pin, and 64 on a 6-pin, 128 on a 7-pin. But I'll go ahead and lock this up, and we'll take a look inside. So you have to kind of just know those things, which shear line you're going for, because otherwise you can pick till they jiggle, but you don't know which shear line they're jiggling on. So in general, SFIC is just it's a pain. So here we'll go ahead and gut this guy. I had extra tensioner there. Hopefully I have everything I need. So first, nice thing is a lot of SFICs, they have like the back nailed or riveted on, so you can't gut them. This way you have to stick a rod in here and pop the tops of these out. So for those, actually before I open this up, we can prove that it's fully populated at least by showing the key pins here. You can see that all the key pins are there. But what you can do is gut it just like a normal lock. It's not particularly difficult. I did a video on this, on gutting and repopulating it, so it's not a difficult thing. Just for gutting, it's really easy. Now they don't have the clip on there. Get the key lined up. So the key stops on the bottom of the key, so if you don't have a clip in there, it might sometimes not stop at the right place. And then just follow it out. So here we'll start with key pins. Uh, 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6. And a lot of times if you look at pinning on SFICs, they pin it from tip to bow, which is backwards from a lot of things. So a lot of times it'll be like 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6 if you look at pinning charts. All right, so let's go ahead and try to get, I'm going to start from the back because I have this kind of a groove on the follower, and it's just flat on the side, and that might help me show the order of the pins as they come out. It might not, actually no, this might show it better. I'm going to block it with the tweezers and let it come up. So you can see we've got a standard, and then we got a spool. So standard, oh, they're stuck together. That's interesting. Probably some, there's no lubricant, so I don't know what it is. They say they ship it with some lubricant, so whatever they might have. All right, so this one here, I don't know if you can see, looks like a short, or no, like looks like a serrated stack. First touching the keypins, the serrated stack, and then we've got a spool, and then a spring. Third stack, we've got, looks like a T-pin and which is a standard. All right, we'll go from the other side. The last one is a standard and a standard. So long standard, short standard, and a spring. Pin 5 is a barrel spool. See that? It's got like a little lip on each end, and then a normal spool, barrel spool, normal spool, and a spring. And then the final chamber, we have, looks like a serrated pin with a short standard on top and a spring. Okay, so that's all those. And we'll take a close up, and then that'll be that. So yeah, here are our pins. And like I said, unfortunately, I don't have a lot of tips to give on SFICs. They're a pain in the butt to pick. They're generally not a lot of fun. And again, it's not because they're hard to pick. It's just hard to hit the shear line you want every time with each of the pin stacks. And also, another thing I don't like is that you know, in order to get into the video, I know that the first pin to get to operating, first pin stack has to go to the first shear line, and the rest have to go to the second shear line. And it's just something I know about this lock, which I wouldn't know about a lock in general, which I generally don't like. So anyways, that is the Mako M2 SFIC 6-pinner. Thanks. Bye.